Good morning and welcome to another 10 with Travis here at the Radical Wealth Network on YouTube. Our mission is just to help you lead a more spiritually led life today than you did the day before, and to continue to snowball that and grow that. Now, we're never judged or accepted because of that, which we've been talking about here in Galatians. But just like anything in our life, we want to go from glory to glory to glory. We just want to work towards getting better and better. And that's no different than our spiritual walk. So today we're going to jump into chapter 4. But as I mentioned at the end of the video yesterday, I do have a little bit of something special that I want to tell. And it's a little testimony. So there's a testimony of myself. And I'm going to look at my notes maybe a little bit more than normal. And the reason being is this short testimony can turn into probably 40 minutes, and you all know that 10 with Travis doesn't want to go 40 minutes, so I'm going to give my testimony here, and again, I may look at my notes a little bit more just to keep me on track so I'm not, just starting to talk about how I was feeling and what I was thinking and things like that, which may be for another time. So, pretty recently, I've been getting tension headaches or even migraines, and it usually stems from like my back being sore, my neck being sore, and then it goes up into my head, and then my eyes right here have also just been a little bit sore. I don't know if it's from that or if it's from sinuses, whatever the case may be. And just in our family, we always do our hardest to not take medicine. Again, this is not to talk about medicine in a negative way or that we shouldn't take medicine. I think God deals with every one of us individually on those issues, and I don't necessarily know if there's one right or wrong answer. I haven't thought too much in it, but just for us, we try to limit that stuff and just, speak scripture, speak things that we want to see, and have faith while we wait for it to manifest. So on this day, it was a Sunday, I actually started feeling it Saturday night, so I went to bed thinking that, okay, I'll go to sleep, wake up, I'll be refreshed and feel good, which usually happens. Didn't happen this time. So I went on my morning walk, and in that walk, I felt like God just say, hey, throw away the ibuprofen. And we've done that before. We've not had ibuprofen in the house for years. And then, one of us will really have a bad headache, and we might go run and get it, and then it kind of stays in here, and then we use it more than we normally would. So I came home, said that to Shyla. She said, okay. So I flushed it down the toilet. And I thought on the minute that I flushed, I was just going to be healed. Obviously, that did not happen. So as the day kind of went on, or that morning, it got a little bit worse. Then we went to church. And as I was sitting in church, it was okay. But then when the pastor started preaching, I just fixed my eyes right on him. Really listen to his words, the words of Jesus, the words of the apostles. And it just started to slowly go away. Just slowly go away. So I was like, yes, Lord, thank you so much for this healing. Well, soon enough, we leave church, come, back into the house, and it just starts getting worse. And now it's even probably worse than what it was. So I go to lay down, and again, at this point, a lot of times I've been like, well, I tried it, I tried it for a couple hours, half a day, I'm going to go ahead and take the medicine, but we didn't have any, so it really forced me to continue to rely on God, continue to speak that I'm healed, continue to not just ignore the pain, but just to not focus on the pain and to focus on something else. So as I was laying in bed, God said, in church you focused on me, why don't you try that again? So he dropped in my spirit, play the Bible app. So I set the Bible app on my nightstand, pressed play, Book of John, started playing it. Wasn't really trying to sleep, but as I just laid there and just looked up, and I really started trying to hear the words to understand what was going on in each chapter, it just went away. Same feeling as in church. It went away. All of a sudden I dozed off, woke back up, and we were like in Acts chapter 9. Woke back up, turned it off, kind of just sat there and was like, wow, headache is gone. So my headache was completely gone, pain in my eyes gone, everything good. Went on a walk with the family that night, woke up the next day, no headache, praise be to God. So the next day I wake up, my back's a little tight, specifically right here in my neck. go to work, do all the work stuff. But even as I was working in my office at work, I just kept getting it tighter and tighter, and it started hurting more and more. And then eventually, if I wasn't sitting, kind of like this, where I would rest my hands down and tight, if I had it up or down or side, it would start to get excruciating. I even tried to go down to lunch and eat lunch, and it wasn't in the right position in my body, so it hurt so bad I couldn't even eat my lunch. So I went back upstairs, went home after work, told Shyla, we used Theragun, things like that to massage it a little bit, but it just got worse and worse and worse until, I kid you not, if you rubbed right here, you could feel the bump. It was like there was a golf ball sitting in there. That's how tight it was. And it came to a point, again, not to get it, so long of a story, that when it came to bedtime, after being in pain all day and having to sit in certain spots, and I came home, try to play with the kids and stuff, but it was hard at times. It was okay at times, hard at times, that I finally said, I just need to go to bed. But I couldn't lay down. It hurt so bad that anytime I laid down, it moved that shoulder, no matter how I laid back, side, belly, that it was hard to breathe. I really couldn't breathe. And this is, as this went on, is when I really started to know and understand this is a spiritual attack. It's not just a coincidence that, my head's been hurting last couple weeks, and then boom, I have that faith and I have that patience of faith even to endure that and to get through that headache, that the next day, the devil just goes right at the next thing, which was my neck. And I've never felt this pain like this in my neck. Yeah, it's sore and things, but it was in my trap. I've never felt this pain in my trap. So I knew it was a spiritual attack. So from about 9 a.m. to probably 3 a.m., I was in bed, out of bed, walking the floors, praying, speaking in spirit, all these things. I didn't get really any sleep from then, 9 to 3. Then eventually I got pretty tired, so I sat on the couch, found a pretty good spot where it didn't hurt, and ended up dozing off about 4 o'clock, and then Shyla came out at 6 o'clock because we have our 6:30 Tuesday morning calls. If you're not a part of Radical Wealth Network on the school app, go ahead and look that up. We'll have a link in the description below where you can, check that out. But I had to get up for that call, and I felt okay when I got up, and then by the end of that call, it all just felt okay. Again, it's still sore, and even for the day after, when I would feel it, I could feel it and it felt sore, like my skin was even sore. But again, just praise be to God that it was a spiritual attack, and God delivered me from that. And again, it wasn't anything I did other than join the fight, right? I joined the fight with him by not going and taking that medicine. I joined the fight by saying, God, I know you're going to heal me. I know you can take these pains away in my head and in my trap. And I'm going to be here as long as it takes, because I want this to be a testimony, but I want it to be a way to build my faith for much greater things. Let me go to my notes because I know I have it looked down because I started just getting into it. But yeah, like I said, I think I kind of hit everything. Again, it was just really big for my faith to be able to say, I did this. With God, we were able to do this together. Because again, it wasn't me. I can't heal myself no matter what I do. We try to heal ourselves with medicine, and it works a lot of times, and it's great. But the one true God is the one healing that never fails. And I wanted to tap into that, and I felt like God was telling me to tap into that, and I did. And another cool thing was in that service that I talked about when I had the headache, and the pastor was talking, he actually talked about one of his family members that he healed, and because of being healed of the liver maybe, she threw away all her medicine. And I was like, Lord, what is the chances that I throw away my medicine, and then our pastor talks about someone throwing away their medicine? God, thank you for that great confirmation that I know I heard you and I'm in this battle. Right? That was at the beginning of my battle. From there, I said, I'm in this because this is what you want from me. So let's just jump really quickly into chapter 4 so we can keep these things moving. Chapter 3, yesterday we discussed about the law and the purpose of the law. And we found out it was just for that designated time to show us the sinfulness of sin. But now we're sons and heirs, so we're no longer under that law. We want to live in a new covenant, which is the covenant of grace, unmerited, unearned, undeserved favor. So in verses 8 through 10, Paul talks about legalism, which is kind of getting into the works of the law. And he said it's actually no worse than going back into pagan worship, which seems extreme, but it is accurate. He's saying you're either covered by grace or you're not. And if you're not, you might as well just be in pagan worship, because you're not going to get the things that you want from God if you don't have the grace. Then in verses 21 through 31, he discusses the two covenants and how they can't, work together, the old covenant and the new covenant, the law and the grace, how they can't mix together. And the example he uses is Abraham having the two sons, one from the bondwoman Hagar and one from the promise or the free woman Sarai. And he just says, hey, just like Isaac, the free son, that's who we are. So we need to live as the free son, with the son of the promise, which was, God promised Abraham the son, that we need to live that one. And it says in verse 30 through 31, nevertheless, what does the scripture say? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. So Paul has laid some doctrinal foundation here in 3 and 4. But when we move into chapters 5 and 6, it's going to be a lot more personal application, so we're going to see some cool things there. But I hope that testimony blessed you. If you have testimonies of your own, please comment below, send us an email. We would love to hear about them, and always let us know in there if you're okay with us sharing as well, because we may share a couple as the weeks and months go on as we do this. So be sure to read chapter 5 for tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow on 10 with Travis.